really good to have you here. Okay, and if you crash, please try to come back. Okay, today is very important. Today is our review day. So I hope you can all stay. Hi, Amandinha. Good evening. Good to have you here too. So,
Hello.
hi. Good to see you. Jose is joining. So I hope to have you all around. Okay, guys. We are going to have 2 days of review because we have some important contents to check out, and the test will be very rich in terms of content. Even though it was only 3 units, right? 10, 11, and 12. But there were important topics that we need to review. That's why we are doing 2 days, today and Wednesday. Hi, Jose. How's it going? How was the weekend?
Hello,
Be
hello.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, the best place to go to review the topics, of course, as usual, is our platform. But first, let's take a look at our page on Google Classroom and let's see the homework I gave you last week. Okay, let's take a look there. All right. Can you see that, people? Yes.
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 All right. So according to our plan, I will try to do the review of units 10 and 11 today, and Wednesday, review of unit 12. Okay. So let's take a look at what I gave you last week. All right. Let's see the homework and see if you have any questions. Last week we finished Unit 12 and I asked you to do Unit 12 test, online practice, page 158. I think we did this in class, and some worksheets that we posted here. Okay. So do you have any questions, guys, about this homework? Is everything okay for you? No
Mm-hmm.
questions?
No questions.
All right. Okay. Okie dokie. So as we review, it will be a chance for you to see if everything is understood, if everything is clear. All right. As we will start today from Unit 10, you will have a chance to do the exercises if you haven't done yet. So you still have tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Okay. So no problem. Okay, make sure you take a look at those topics. All right. So let's go back to our planning, our agenda for today. Here, I reposted some activities from the 3 units, um, passive voice, the use of some and any, the indefinite articles and the definite articles, a defining and non-defining relative clauses, right? The past perfect, okay? Ways to interrupt someone, adjectives ending in ed, okay, or ing. Hi, Mateus. Good
Hello,
evening.
good evening.
Good to see you. The use of gerunds or infinitives, okay, um, and verbs that are followed either by a gerund or an infinitive, okay? So this is what we've seen in those 3 units. Okay, okay. So our lesson today is really important. Oh, I really like your background, Mateus. It's really cute. How nice.
Yeah,
That's really cute.
I'm using a different computer today, so they have this
Ah,
effect.
that's
So I'm
nice.
using. I like
That's
it.
nice. Yeah.
It's a
So,
space. spatial nav or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, that's cute. That's really
Can you hear me,
cute.
by the way?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay. So, as I said before, guys, today is our review day number 1. We are reviewing contents from units 10 and 11, right? And let's try to cover everything that is really important for our test, okay? So I will take you there. Let me take you now to our platform because the platform has everything pretty much summarized, okay? The topics, the main activities. So I will take you there. And let me share the tab. Can you see that, people? Yes. So Unit
Yes.
10 talks about information. That's the main topic of the unit, okay? So then as we go down here, we have Unit 11, which talks about stories, and Unit 12 closes the book talking about emotion. So information, stories, and emotion. Okay, guys. So what are the topics now in terms of language? What did we learn in Unit 10 in terms of language, vocabulary, and grammar? Let's see. Here, as we can see there, right in the beginning, Unit 10 talks about online safety, right in the beginning, right? We learned about focusing on key content words. This is the listening tip of the lesson. Here, usually this part doesn't show up on the test, okay? Like this. And finally, we have the passive voice. This is important, okay? So we are going to take a look here and here, okay? Let's take a look at the idioms and the passive voice, all right? So let's do this. Ouch. Let's check out the vocabulary. Just a moment, guys, just a second. Just give me 1 minute, just a moment. Oh my God. Let's go. So let's check out. All right. Can you see that, people? All right. So let's see. The first one, choose the correct phrases to complete the paragraph. The topic is about online safety, okay? And these are idioms. So let's take a look at the text, okay? It seems like the moment you buy a cell phone, a new one with new features is released. It's true, isn't it? You can get a cell phone that scans your eyes instead of requiring a password. It can also act as your personal assistant through a Bluetooth speaker. Just you need someone to remind you to do your laundry. It doesn't actually do laundry. Companies are developing features we can't even imagine. Technology is advancing. So does that mean we shouldn't buy the latest gadgets? But it does mean that technology is advancing quickly, so you might consider waiting. Something newer will be available soon. So it's nice, guys, when we have a paragraph to complete with missing parts. The best thing to do is to read all the paragraph so we understand the idea. Okay? Now let's do again. Let's read from the beginning again and complete the missing parts.
I've done it already, to be honest, but okay.
All right, no problem. Let's go ahead. It seems like the moment you buy a cell phone, a new one with new features is released. Then which one should we put here, guys?
For instance,
Yes. Okay. It's like you're giving an example, right? For instance, you can get a cell phone that scans your eyes instead of requiring a password. That's a good one. It can also act as your personal assistant through a Bluetooth speaker, just
In case.
in case you need someone to remind you to do laundry.
too bad.
Yeah, too bad it doesn't actually do laundry. Cell phones, they actually don't do laundry. Companies are developing features. Oh,
Right now.
yeah. Right now, companies are developing features we can't even imagine. Technology is advancing.
All the time.
All the time.
Very good. So, does that mean we should buy the latest gadgets? Have you seen the new cell phones that can be folded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my
They're,
type, to be honest, but they seem okay.
yeah, they seem okay to me. Yeah. But it does mean that technology is advancing quickly.
For, of course, not.
Yes, because it's a question, right? There is a question before. Does it mean that we shouldn't buy the latest gadgets? So does that mean we shouldn't buy the latest gadgets?
Of course, not.
Of course not. But it does mean that technology is advancing quickly. So you might consider waiting. Okay. After all, okay, after all, something newer will be available soon. Because sometimes we try to keep up with the latest versions and then we try to buy the latest one, and a few months later we have a new model and then we go like, oh, I'll have to buy the new one, and it's difficult to keep up, right? So this is what they say. All right, people. So keep this vocabulary in mind. Record these expressions so you know when and how to use them. Okay? So now I will skip to grammar in context, which is the passive voice. Okay? The most important part. So let's go there. Simple present and simple past of the passive voice. As you know, guys, the passive voice is used when the action is more important than who performs the action. Okay, so here, and also another important thing is the structure. To create the passive voice in English, we need the help of the verb to be, always. Okay, so we need to use the verb to be and the main verb in the past participle. So two elements, verb to be and past participle. If it's in the simple present, the verb to be is in the simple present. The main verb in the past participle. If it's the simple past, the verb to be is in the simple past. The main verb is in the past participle, just the same. Okay? So, what makes the difference here is just the verb to be, okay? So let's see here. The first text message, I have to include the
Was
verb
sent. Was sent.
was sent. I have to change here, right? Because the past participle of the verb to send is sent. It's irregular, right? Was sent in 1992. Okay. In 1995, the first phone with a texting keyboard was,
Sold.
yes, so sell is irregular. So the past participle of sell is sold. So I have to change the verb, okay? Now, this first texting method is, now here it's the present passive. So I have to keep the verb to be in the present, but the verb has to go to the past participle. So is referred to as multi-tap, okay? So this first method is referred to as multi-tap, okay? Each number on the phone was
Connected.
connected to 3 or 4 letters. Full keyboards on phones weren't developing is totally wrong. I don't use,
Developed.
yes, you have to use past participle, okay? Weren't developed until 1997. Here, I think I have to double, let me see, referred. I have to double the R. Okay, to be right. Why? Because here, guys, I have a vowel sandwich. I have a CVC. Refer, I have a stress on the last syllable. When the stress falls on the last syllable, and that syllable is a consonant vowel consonant combination, and I have to put a suffix, then I need to double the consonant, okay? So is referred to as multi-tap. Here, I could also put was referred to because I'm using the simple past all the time. So here, they decided to put is referred to, but I don't know. Let me see if I can change this. No, I can't. It's okay. Next one. In 2007, the smartphone with a touch screen and a virtual keyboard
Was introduced.
as simple past, passive voice was introduced. Okay, the verb is all right. Today, text messaging is the most used. Here, I have the verb to be. I just have to put the past participle, okay? It's okay, guys, to have a comparative element in between. No problem. Is used. Is the most used. No problem, okay? Service in the world. Over 22 million, or sorry, 22 billion texts were, let's change the verb,
Sent.
sent. It's irregular. Were sent every day worldwide. So here, guys, I don't think I guess there is a mistake here. Read again. They are talking about today, isn't it? Today, text messaging is the most used data service in the world. Over 22 billion texts were sent. Why simple past? It doesn't sound good. I don't think it's correct. Why simple past? Do you think it's correct to say over 22 billion texts were sent every day worldwide? I think here
What?
are sent. Simple present. Aren't we talking about today?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Look, today. So if I'm talking about today, so I should use the verb in the present, not in the past. Okay, people? All right? So today, text messaging is the most used data service in the world. Over 22 billion texts are sent every day worldwide. Now it makes sense, okay? Although email communication verb to be is missing.
Is.
Is preferred, okay? Email communication is preferred by many businesses. This is changing as well, okay? Research shows that it takes an average of 90 minutes to respond to an email, but the average text
Are.
here it's singular. The average
Okay.
text
Is.
is
Answer.
answered. Okay. The average text is answered within 90 seconds. Okay. So it's true. Nowadays, if you send a WhatsApp message, the reply is much faster than via email. Okay, guys. All right. So did you see, guys, those two verbs, refer and prefer, when we put them in the past participle, we should double the R, okay? Look, here and here, okay? So let's check the answers. Everything correct, okay? So please take a picture.
Mine came wrong, but because I didn't put double R. It was just one R on referred.
Yes, yes, it's important to remember, okay? Because this is a vowel sandwich. And when we add a suffix to a vowel sandwich, I have to double the consonant, okay? All right, people. So let's go back to the unit contents. This was the first part of the grammar. The first grammar point actually from unit 10. Okay, passive voice. Okay, guys. So let's go there. closing here. 10.1, okay? Let's go to 10.2. In 10.2, we saw some reading tips, right? And we had some vocabulary on intensifying adverbs and the grammar. Yes, that was really important because it talked about articles, and that is on your test. It's there, okay? So let's take a look at those two parts, intensifying and the grammar. So let me close there. So here, it seems to be a paragraph. Yes. So choose the correct words to complete the paragraph. So instead of reading the text out loud, I will ask you to read the text in silence. Okay? See if you do this so you can start growing this habit. Okay? Read the paragraph and then we can do the exercise together. Okay, guys. Yes? Now, let's try to complete with the missing parts. Remember that we are using intensifying adverbs. They help us intensify adjectives, okay? So let's see the first one. Today, the way we store information now is what do you think?
Completely
Yes,
different from how we did.
completely different. Okay. And it's true, right? Systems such as the card catalog, a paper-based filing system in libraries are now
Deeply outdated or very outdated.
what's
Both
the difference?
deeply is stronger than very.
Yes, it is stronger, but we use deeply more to talk about emotions.
I don't. So it is very.
Very. Yes, they're now very outdated. Okay. We usually say deeply when we talk about our feelings, our emotions. For example, oh, I'm deeply sorry. Okay. While some libraries are still holding on to this system as a connection to the past, it is
Strongly.
strongly
Strongly.
recommended that they switch to an internet-based network. Here, we could also use highly. It's more common. It's highly recommended. Okay. It is absolutely or extremely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Okay. How much information can be found online? Okay. Because incredible is like an extreme adjective. So we can use absolutely. While research shows that people are Now,
Strongly?
Deeply,
deeply.
because it talks about feelings.
Yes, deeply concerned. Okay? When we say concerned, we are talking about how we feel. Okay? So people are deeply concerned about how much of their personal information can be found online. Okay? It is
Absolutely. Extremely, extremely.
extremely. We use extremely, guys, to talk about probability. Okay? When we talk about probability, statistics, stuff like this, we use extremely. Okay? So it's extremely unlikely that we will go back to storing information on paper. All right, let's check the answers. Yay. Take a picture. This is really important, guys. Okay. All right. Now, let's see another very important point from this lesson, which is about articles. That's another tricky point. How to use articles when we omit the articles. All right, let's see. Choose the correct words or phrases to complete the paragraph. So it's a paragraph again. And like I said before, if it's a paragraph, let's read everything, ignoring the gaps. So I'll give you some time to read in silence, okay? So let's do the reading. Okay, guys. Have
Just
you
made a feel, but okay.
Yeah, but don't try to do before you read everything. It's important to read first without doing, you know? It's a nice way to train, especially if you were thinking of applying to international exams like Cambridge or IELTS. Okay, so it's a nice technique. If you want to succeed, it's nice to read the paragraph first, ignoring the gaps, trying to, to really read everything. And then you do a second time. You read again, and then you try to do. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let's see the beginning. Let's try to do now that we've all read, okay? So let's see. I read
An article.
an article in,
The in the
so
newspaper.
in the newspaper this morning, okay? I read an article in the newspaper this morning about how
Zero article.
Mhm.
Article.
About how data storage has changed in
The
the last 50 years. Okay, guys, so far so good?
mhm.
Yes, everybody. Okay?
Yes.
An article in the newspaper this morning about how data storage. Okay. Do you remember the floppy disk? It was,
Amanda.
come on, what do you think?
A.
A piece of plastic. Yes, you were describing something, right? So it was a piece of plastic you could insert into your computer. It was used to store,
Z- um. Zero article.
yes, very good. It was used to store data. Okay, guys. No article before data. But storage space was very limited.
The
The
The storage space was very limited.
the article.
The article also mentioned the USB. It is
Uh,
a smaller device than
a floppy.
a floppy disk. Actually, here, let me see here. Have we mentioned the floppy disk before?
Not really. I don't know.
Look here. We mentioned before.
Ah yes.
It was mentioned before, so be careful. It is a smaller device than the floppy disk. So if I talked about the floppy disk
It's a
before,
comparative.
so I'm comparing and I mentioned before. So USB, I'm describing now, but floppy disk is familiar because I already mentioned, okay? It's here. So I'm talking about USB. What is USB? USB is a smaller device than the floppy disk. Okay? And a lot more convenient too. But today you don't even need
and
a
device.
device to store
Zero article.
zero information. Okay, people. So let's go back a little. It was used to store data, but the storage space was very limited. The article, he's talking about what he read in the paper. The article also mentioned the USB. It is a smaller device than the floppy disk and a lot more convenient too. I'm just using the here, guys, because I mentioned floppy disk before, but here I could also use a again because as I'm comparing, I could also say A and A. Okay, guys, that would not be wrong either. It's a smaller device than a floppy disk because I'm comparing two similar objects because they serve the same purpose, all right? So I'm going to change here just because I'm using a comparative structure. All right, people, just because of that. But if I'm writing a sentence here and I'm talking about something that I mentioned before, I usually use the definite article, okay? So here, let's keep A and A. It's a smaller device than a floppy disk, just because of the comparative. All right, guys? So I'm just being flexible here. Today, you don't even need a device to store information. Information like data. This is something uncountable. So we don't use article before something uncountable when I'm talking about it in general, okay? We can use to back up all of our devices.
Zero.
We can use cloud,
Or the I don't know.
cloud. Yeah, we can use the cloud to back up all of our devices. Okay, zero doesn't make much sense. We can use the cloud to back up all of our devices. Okay. We can use Google Drive. We can use, if we give a name to the place, then we don't use the, for example, Google Drive. We can use Google Drive, or we can use Google One, or we can use OneDrive. OneDrive. So these are names, proper names. But cloud is not a name. So if it's not a name, it's not a proper name, so I can use the definite article to define what I'm talking about, okay? So we can use the cloud to back up all of our devices, okay? Cloud storage refers to software that runs on the internet, okay? Just like I refer to the internet with the, because internet is a space we use to communicate, we can talk the cloud, okay, guys? So the internet, so here, cloud storage refers to software that runs on the internet instead of on your computer. Okay. Now here, the advantage of storing information this way is that you can access it anywhere. You can get on
The cloud.
the internet. If you can get access to the internet, you can access your information, okay? All right, people. So
All right.
let's check the answers. Let's see. Oh my God, what did I miss? Everything is right. There is no mistake. Why 15? Can you see any mistake there?
A. Where? Let me see.
Oh yeah, this is the one I changed. Look, smaller device than the floppy disk. I changed. Look, I put here. It is a smaller device than the floppy disk. Remember, and then I put back a floppy disk. So here, it's back to the floppy disk like I put before. Okay, guys, it is a smaller device than the floppy disk. Why is that so? Because I already mentioned floppy disk before, like I said before, okay? But here, like I said before, it's not wrong actually to say a USB is a smaller device than a floppy disk because I'm comparing two objects. So here, it's too strict to say that this is wrong. All right, guys. So I would accept a smaller device than a floppy disk. That would be okay. All right. But make sure you take a picture. This is going to be on your test. Okay, guys.
Okay.
All right, people. Okie dokie. So this was the second part of Unit 10.
Simone, I don't
Yes.
know, for some reason, I just was able to get into the class right now. For example, I tried for so long and now worked apparently.
Sorry,
tried.
I don't get it. Can you say again, please?
Right now, for some reason, I was able to get into the class on the way I didn't go practice because before I was trying and always mistake. Now I tried and it worked.
Oh, I'm so glad. How nice.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. That's really cool. So 10.3, everything on the internet. So here, the most important thing is the vocabulary on fake news and indefinite pronouns and adverbs. So let's take a look there, guys. I will just cover the vocabulary and the grammar, okay? Let's take a look here.
Okay.
So match the sentence halves, right? We have here, let's see the sentences that we need to put there, right? We have proof before printing a story, your judgment. As you can see, they all finish with the period. So they are the second half of the sentence, okay? Express what they want online, a story online than it is in a newspaper, misinformation online, reporting events or fake news. This is a question. A story is true. So according to the options we have, there is only one question. Okay. So let's see the first one. When doing research online, it's best to trust. Which one do you think we could use to complete this sentence?
Reporting events. What could be reporting events? I don't get.
Reporting events. Reporting events is the news report that you get on TV, for example, the news reports that you watch on TV. Reporting events. So
I don't know. I'm confused.
So what do you think it's better to trust? When you're doing research online, you understand, when you are looking for something online, what do you think you should do? What do you think is the best idea? You should trust what?
True.
Proof before printing a story.
You should trust proof before printing a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, what do you think?
Acho que é isso.
Your judgment. I don't know.
Could be you should trust your judgment. Mm-hmm. Yes, that could be. All right. So when doing research online, it's best to trust your judgment. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see the second one. People have the freedom to
Express what they
express
want.
what they want online.
All right. But how do you know if it's genuine
Or fake news.
or fake news? Uh-huh. Okay. This one seems to be a question. It's easier to make up.
Misinformation online.
Mhm. Or this one here. It's easier to make up a story online than it is in a newspaper.
Yeah.
I think this one makes more sense, doesn't it? Number 5, newspaper journalists usually look for,
Proof before printing a story.
yes. Oops, let me. All right. So they do that. They look for proof before printing. Okay. It is easier to spread,
Misinformation.
yes,
Misinformation online.
misinformation online. Journalists believe in accurately,
Reporting events.
Reporting events.
mhm, all right. Online, it is easier to claim,
Story is true.
yes. Okay, guys. So now everything makes sense. These sentences are nice in case you need to use them in your writing. Okay, if your writing happens to be about internet safety or online safety, you have some nice sentences here to use. So you can take a picture if you wish. All right. All right. They have very nice ideas here that you can use. Right, people. Even not only in your writing, but also your project. Okay, guys. You can get examples from here to illustrate your project. Okay. All right. So, and now the grammar from this part. Indefinite pronouns and adverbs. So let's see what they are. Again, a paragraph. So like I said before, let's read the paragraph ignoring the gaps. Okay? So let's read in silence. Okay, let's do it. Okay, people. So let's see. It's interesting, isn't it? A lot of people have become famous online. TikTokers, right? We have TikTok, Instagram. So, do you know?
Anyone?
Yes, anyone famous? Do you know?
I don't.
And here,
Somebody.
somebody. who has become famous because of social media. Yeah, I do know some people like that. One man decided to post daily about
Everything.
mhm, that was happening in his life. When he went,
Somewhere.
yes, somewhere amazing on vacation, he posts pictures. Whenever,
Whenever anything good happened.
yes, whenever anything good happened, he wrote about it. He became very popular. And
And nowhere.
everywhere, everywhere he went, people recognized him.
Everyone.
Yes, everyone who followed him online thought he had an amazing life. But finally, he admitted that,
And nothing was true.
yes, nothing was true. It was an experiment to see if
Anyone would believe that everything
anyone would believe that
everything was perfect in his life.
everything was perfect in his life. Okay. So that's a nice experiment. Great. So I guess a lot of people do this. A lot of people. And they spend money on this, really. They make people believe their lives are perfect. So let's check the answers, guys. All right. People, take a picture, please. So this is another important point, guys, and I think I remember seeing one or two questions about it in our test. Okay, so let's move on. 10.4 is about English for real. It's the movie or the film from the lesson. You have those phrases, English for real. This is about giving feedback. Okay, so let's take a look here. I'm not going to review that. I will ask you to do this yourself. Okay, guys? I will not do this because I think this you can do at home with more time because you have to watch the video and this is going to be time consuming. So I will ask you to do this yourselves. Okay. So the English for real, I will ask you to review on your own. Okay. So this is, yeah, this is time consuming for us. I will go on to unit 11. So unit 10 is basically that, right? Passive voice, the articles. Okay, so let me see here. It's about information, online safety. Okay, people. Passive voice, simple present, simple past, passive voice. Intensifying adverbs, the use of the article and when no article is necessary, indefinite pronouns and adverbs that we just saw now, okay? And that's it. Okay, the English for real part, I'll ask you to review on your own. Let's move on to Unit 11. Okay, and the test I will ask you to do on your own as well. You have access to it, right? So let's move on to Unit 11, Stories. What is the most important thing about this unit? So let's go there. So here you go. The first part already starts with the grammar. Past perfect. Yes, this will be there. This will be in your test. Okay. And here we have the vocabulary part as well. So let's do these two parts. This is very important. So let's move on to unit 11.1. Okay, guys, the use of the past perfect. So the structure of the past perfect is the auxiliary verb had and the past participle of the main verb. And it's really simple because we don't change. We use had for all the subjects, all the pronouns, okay, including the third person, singular, okay. Now let's see the use. When and how to use the past perfect. Let's see the first one. Again, it seems to be a paragraph. So let's read the paragraph before we answer, okay? So let's read in silence. Okay? All right, so let's do it. Always remember that when we use the past perfect, we also have samples of simple past in the same sentence. Why, guys? Because the past perfect is when we have a sequence of events. One situation happened in the simple past, and then we use the past perfect to indicate that that action happened before. Okay, so let's say we
Missed.
we missed our flight home. This is the fact. Okay, so here there is no reason to use the past perfect. Okay, we missed our flight home. Now let's explain what happened. Okay, we
Woke up.
woke up late. We woke up late because we
Forgot.
forgot to set the alarm clock. Okay, now here we have to think about, because we have two actions in the past. One, we woke up late, and then here we forgot to set the alarm. Which action happened first? We forgot to set the alarm, and then, or we woke up late.
We forgot to
We
set the
forgot
alarm.
to set the alarm clock. This one happened first, right? So the one that happened first needs to go to the past perfect. So because we had forgotten to set the alarm. When I have a sentence like this, look, the sentence begins here. We, and then we have a period. So we have a sentence with two situations. One in the simple past, the other part in the past perfect, because this one here happened as a result of this one. Okay, so this one was the result of this one here, which happened first. Okay, so I woke up later. We woke up late because we had forgotten to set the alarm. All right, people. Now, we around the hotel room to pack all the things we the night before. This is another sentence that starts here and finishes here, and it has two situations. So one, the night before. The other one is the result. So usually the result is in the simple past. Okay, so we
Ran.
ran. We ran around the hotel room to pack all the things we
Didn't pack.
hadn't packed
Right.
the night before. So here I have the result, and here we have what caused the situation. Okay, cause, result. This action here happened the night before, and this is the result. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we arrived to the airport the night before. So we had to wait. So we had to wait, period. So what happened the night before? So now you know.
Hadn't scheduled.
Yeah, we hadn't scheduled a ride to the airport the night before, so we had to wait. All right. So here we have a situation that I'm explaining what happened. Imagine I'm telling you what happened when I traveled. Okay, I'm telling you the situation, how everything happened. I mean, how everything unfolded. So we hadn't scheduled a ride to the airport the night before, so we had to wait. Okay. As we were waiting for our airport shuttle, I, in my bag, to see if to bring our passports. So here I have another sentence. It starts here. I, in my bag to see if to bring our passports. So see in my bag
Looked.
to bring. So I looked, simple past. Bring passports before, of course. So this action here is action number one. This is action number two. Action number two is simple past. Action number one, past perfect. Okay, so
Had remembered.
had remembered. Okay, guys. So to see if I had remembered, to bring our passports. I found the passports, but I realized we to print the boarding passes.
Forgot, simple past.
We
Oh.
forgot or we had forgotten?
I forgot.
Oh, forgotten. Yeah, because the first action is found.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I found the passports, but I realized, so here, look, the sentence starts here. I realized, simple past. We had forgotten to print the boarding passes, okay? We finally got to the airport and printed our boarding passes. But by the time we got to our gate, simple past. By the time, people, is the same as when, okay? When we got to our gate, the plane
Had already left.
had already left. Before, okay? Had already left. Uh-oh. The next available flight wasn't until the next day. Before we went to sleep, we checked to make sure we
Had
set the alarm. Okay? We checked to see if we had set. So simple past, past perfect. All right, people. Checking the answers. Everything correct. Okay, take a picture. Yes, that's why the name of this paragraph, the title is A Bad Day. Terrible.
Okay.
Okay, people, so we have to go. I invite you to do the other activities. Here was just a bad day, but I invite you to do 12.2 vocabulary, okay? And grammar in context, simple past and past perfect, okay?
Okay.
11.3, sorry. You must see it. Vocabulary, movies, and grammar in context, defining relative clauses. This is very important, really, okay? Don't forget to do this one. And, oh yeah, 11.4 is the English for real. This is something that, yeah, you need to review because in our test, there will be one question about one of the videos from the 3 lessons. Yes. So this is it for homework. So try to do this, the activities from unit 11. Okay, guys, that are missing. We haven't done today. All right, let me
Okay.
take a picture just to check the attendance from today. All right, people. Let me see if I was able to. Let me see it. I'm just saving here quickly, just to make sure I will not lose the file. Okie dokie, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much for the review, for your participation. And don't forget to do the exercises. It's really, really important It will help you remember the important points from the lessons, all right? And I want to see you again on Wednesday so we can close the other points that are missing, especially from Unit 12. All right, guys? It's nice when we work together because then we can solve our doubts and everything will be okay. All right? Thank you, Mateus. Thank you, Amanda, Jose, Paulinha, Giovanna, and everybody else who is watching via video. Please don't forget to send me the picture of the exercises that you are doing. All right? Thank you very much. Bye bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice holiday. Bye. Take care.